Hey guys, it's Mr. C here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an exponential model based on data. So in our example, we have the following data representing the average in-state tuition and fees at public four-year colleges and universities in the United States from the academic year 1983 to 84 to the academic year 2013 to 2014. So in our table, you'll notice that our first column, we have some specific academic years provided. In the first row, we have the 1983-84 academic year, and based on what's next to it, it appears as though the author would like us to use x equals 0, representing that year. Then we have 1988-89, 1993-94, so on and so forth. And if you're keeping track of the x values that they would prefer us to use, we're going in increments of 5. And in the second column, we have the tuition and fees based on 2013 dollars. All right, so I'm guessing the value of the dollar in 2013. And for the academic year 1983-84, the average in-state tuition and fees for the colleges and universities, 2,684. Going down the column to our very last row says that the average in-state tuition for four-year colleges and universities, 8,893. So quite a steep jump there. All right, what we want to do is enter this information into our graphing calculator. The independent variable here, which will go in the L1 list, will be academic years. And we want to use these values to go into L1. And then the L2 values will be the corresponding tuition and fees. In part A, it says use a graphing utility to create a scatter diagram of the data. And of course, in order to do that, we need to enter these values into the L1 and L2 columns. So let me get back on my screen the calculator. And it's on right now. And to access the L1 and L2 columns, what we want to do is press Stat and then select option 1. And as you can see, I already have these values entered into L1 and L2. So for part A, use a graphing utility to create a scatter diagram of the data. You might recall that we need to have the graphing calculator stat plot feature turned on. What I'd like to do is show you a little shortcut for that. If you go to the y equals menu, we're going to want this plot 1 highlighted in black. So what you can do is scroll up and press enter, and you can scroll down and it's currently highlighted in black, which means that the graphing calculator will plot the table of values as ordered pairs in the coordinate plane. So that we can see all those points plotted in the same viewing window, let's go ahead and hit zoom, and we're going to go down to option 9 where it says zoom stat, and then you can press enter. And just like that, we have the scatter diagram. All right, so create a scatter diagram of the data. So as I was showing you in class, basically we're just going to draw a quadrant 1 coordinate plane. Let me just change colors real quick. All right, and then we will just sketch out the points in our scatter diagram that the graphing calculator provided for us. All right, so there's a point on the y-axis, and then these things appear to curve upward. And so that's what would satisfy the request of creating a scatter diagram. Now, it's not as evident in my sketch, but you look at the graphing calculator's viewing window with the data plotted, it kind of looks linear, but as you follow the trend of the points here, it begins to hook upward, right? And so obviously a line wouldn't do that, um, but we do know of a particular function that starts to steadily increase and then just rapidly increases as you go from left to right, and that would be an exponential function. Um, Hence the instructions in part B where it says using a graphing utility, build an exponential model from the data, and we will round values to 4 decimal places when needed. So in order to do that, we're going to have to press Stat, go over to the Calc menu, and then we're going to scroll all the way down to option 0 where it says EXP-Reg. So that is short for exponential regression. Go ahead and press Enter now. And just make sure that the X values are coming from your L1 list, the Y values are coming from your L2 list. You can leave the next 2 rows blank, and we'll scroll down to where it says Calculate and press Enter. And there we have the format that the calculator is assuming you're going to write the exponential equation in, a times b to the power of x, and then the specific values of a and b. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and write out the exponential regression or the exponential model. Both mean the same thing. All right, so again, they want us to write it in this format. The graphing calculator does, that is, a times b to the power of x. And the specific values of a and b are as follows. A to 4 decimal places is 2,638.2590. Value of b is roughly 1.0407. And what you'll do with these two values is just plug them in to our generic version of the exponential model the graphing calculator is assuming we're going to write this in. So we'll say y equals value of a, 2,638.2590. And then I like to put the value of b in parentheses. So parentheses 1.0407 to the power of x. I like to put it in parentheses so that we know for sure that it's just the 1.0407 number getting the power of x. So that would be our exponential model, rounded to 4 decimal places. Now for part C, they want us to use the exponential model that we just got in part B to predict what the average in-state tuition and fees at four-year colleges and universities would be in 2023. I first want to note that 2023 is not the actual number we'll be plugging into our exponential model. As we can see up here, we used X values that were kind of readjusted and corresponded to the academic years. So for example, 1983 to 84 was X equals 0, and we went all the way down to 2013, 2014, which corresponded to an X value of 30. So with that said, 2023, or should say 2023, 2024, would correspond to an X value of 40. And so 40 is the value of X that we should really be plugging in to our exponential model that we got from part B. All right, let's do it. So y equals 2,638.2590, parentheses 1.0407, and in the power, we will have 40. Now, if you grind this out in the graphing calculator and round to the nearest dollar, for the academic year 2023-2024, the average in-state tuition and fees at four-year colleges and universities is approximately $13,011.